dolls.
Guys, we are back with a QUE.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Buonanotte.
Buonasera.
Buonasera.
Whenever you're listening, I'm back from my travels. We're back in the stew.
Back in LA.
And God, it sucks ass here.
I know.
But that's neither here nor there. We have much bigger fish to fry. And that is, we have to pray for our brothers and sisters and non-binary family members stuck on the Playa.
Guys, prayers to the Playa. The Playa is flooded. The waters have risen. It's bad. It's a humanitarian crisis. According to some, Carrie texted me on Saturday night, I think, about this, Saturday afternoon, and told me it was declared a national disaster, which it was never declared a national disaster. That's what Dr. Deb said.
And then alerted me to Dr. Deb, who is a absolute must follow.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, Dr. Deb is Bronwyn's she was a short-lived, but somehow like remains famous and like relevant. I think.
Didn't we meet Bronwyn?
Yeah, the Crappies.
Yeah.
She was really drunk, but she's sober.
She's sober now.
And she's a lesbian.
Queen.
And she's married to a woman now.
Fucking queen shit.
Lives in Nashville.
Hello.
Where are the Real Housewives of Nashville?
That's
different story.
A good question.
So Dr. Deb is her mom who like has rainbow dreadlocks and is a legit doctor.
What?
Oh, no. Sorry, the light was just...
Oh my God, you scared the
I'm
fuck
sorry. I was like,
me
what is that glowing, blinking light?
Carrie,
just the sun.
we're always in a place of glowing, blinking alien light.
It's a shadow.
I literally thought there was like a huge cucaracha in my apartment.
La cucaracha.
I literally, you scared the fuck.
Sorry, doll.
Just said.
It's the light of the sun.
It's literally sunlight came into the apartment.
It's sunlight rippling in the... Well, I just was like, what is that? I thought, anyway.
They've arrived.
They've arrived finally. Dr. Deb is Bronwyn's mom, who I think had her really young and is an actual doctor, but like is...
What kind of doctor is she?
I think she was a pediatric doctor. Her husband's a big neurosurgeon. So they live in a mansion in Palm Springs. Her hot young husband.
He's a brain surgeon?
Yes. I looked it up.
Wow.
I saw a video. I watched a video he did.
Wow.
They were rich as fuck.
I love that.
Anyway, they married when he was 19.
Hell yeah. Groomer vibes. Okay, so to Burning Man they go.
So they've been going as a family to Burning Man for 20 years. They have two kids who are younger than Bronwyn, but they're her half siblings. And I guess they've gone every single year for 20 years. And so they live life in Burning Man. Like they're on the Playa 24/7 in their minds. So the last few years, I've been always returning to Dr. Deb's page around the time of Burning Man because she just has like crisp content. And so she was, of course, updating us. She's the one that dispelled the rumor that there was a national declaration of a national emergency. She was maintaining that things were really good, that the community was coming together. They got out.
Yeah.
They like broke through the gate and got out because they're rich.
When I tuned in to her Instagram content, she was watching people on the Playa and filming them through the windows of her RV, just softly whispering, "Oh God," to herself at everything she saw and going, oh.
She's a narrator.
She's a total whispering narrator, which I love that kind of energy.
Like the first day they got there, she films the sun coming up and she goes, "First day. First sunrise," and like it's like kind of soothing, but she's also like deeply dark and like toxic, I think.
People who make Burning Man their entire lives are mentally ill and need to be committed to the insane asylum for a little bit.
Fair.
Just for a little bit.
Go to the Meadows.
Yeah.
But so they escaped, but just been in a wormhole of Burning Man content, so people are still stuck there.
Yeah, so it rained on the Playa, and I guess the Playa is made of some kind of like cracking dust that becomes just like thick
concrete
sludge mud.
Yeah,
like the kind of mud that you would build like an adobe house out of or something. Yeah. And so then all the burners are stuck. What?
I was laughing.
It is like you would make bricks out of it. So all the burners are like stuck there. Like if you don't have a 4-wheel drive, like all terrain vehicle, you cannot and should not be trying to get out of here. Like we basically have to wait it out. They were told by like the organizers to shelter in place, share all their food and stuff with each other, and like wait until the sun comes out and dries up the mud so that they can like leave, because if you try and drive, your car just gets stuck in the mud.
I mean, they showed a video of one car that a Jeep that tried to leave. It was missing tires, like in the earth.
And I'm not even exaggerating, is my worst nightmare. I can't imagine a worse fate than being at Burning Man, kind of period. But going to Burning Man and then being stuck on the playa in like a mud storm and being like, we can't get out of here even if we wanted to.
Not being able to leave a music festival is actually hell.
That's the thing that I also don't understand, is like where you go drive out to the playa,
Black Rock City,
and you set up with your camp or whatever. You get your RV out there, or you go with a camp that like makes food. Excuse you. And then you have to fend for yourself. You like go put on a really outfit that they sell on Melrose. Like you go to one of those weird stores on Melrose that's clearly like a money laundering scheme. You buy like the most hideous outfits that you possibly can, because you know that you get to go to one place, the middle of the desert, and wear it for like multiple nights while you do so many drugs. You don't get to go shower at the end of the night. It's not like you get to wash it off and lay in like a plush bed. You like go either camp in a tent or in an RV.
You basically dress like an extra in Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium for 6 days, LARPing as ancient peoples bartering.
You dress like Tom Sandoval.
You dress like Tom Sandoval, truly.
You do. You go there and you pick a Sandoval era,
you
and
wear
that's
a
what
vest
you dress like.
with no shirt.
And then you go...
and a top hat.
You venture out on the playa, and like you go maybe to some orgy tents or ride a bike or take photos like in a windstorm.
Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking about, like dirty sex. Like that's all fun, but like I would want to wash my privates.
I wouldn't want to let someone enter me with their dusty dick. And I also wouldn't feel comfortable like pulling aside my panties after a long sweaty day.
So, for real, I saw a picture of a girl, and so of course, like there's like 70,000 people stuck there. Some people have gotten out, like we said. Chris Rock and Diplo, like
they took a walk. They just walked, which is what I would do in that situation.
Well, yeah, if you're that rich and powerful, you can be like, I'll leave everything. I'm just gonna go.
It's interesting. I haven't heard like a lot from like a lot of celebrities that were there. I'm assuming either their people are like, keep quiet, like anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion. So it's better to just like take no photos and say
leave
nothing.
No trace.
Or they immediately knew when inclement weather was coming and they like fired up the choppers and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I was watching some TikTok about like there's an airport nearby like for Burning Man where all the billionaires land their planes, and they're all just like, by the way, it's hilarious that these people are like all about like, you know, intentional living and everything. It's like you're polluting.
You're paying to live like a homeless person for a week.
It's LARPing as unhoused for a week.
Like I could go burn on the corner of Stanley and Melrose where they're congregating in a tent city across the street from Starbucks. That seems like a more fun burn than
going to
Black Rock City.
No, but
I could go pitch a tent over there. I'm sure we could find something to burn. We could have community. I could share things with them. They could share things with me. I probably wouldn't make them share anything with me. I'd probably just be a camp
director.
Camp sharer. Yeah. I'd be like, we'd name our camp. We'd have like a really fun time. And then I could literally just walk home and have burned.
But their claim, I heard there's all these there was a rumor that someone, True Anon Pod, that really funny podcast, they did a completely joke tweet where they were like, seems like the FEMA's come in because an Ebola outbreak has actually happened. Like this is the reason for the festival being quarantined, and people thought that was real. So there's all these like wild rumors. I guess they're not, like, the gate is closed or something.
They're not letting anyone in. They're only letting people out. I very much have
Who would want to come in?
My entire like weekend from Saturday until this very moment has been lurking on Burning Man Reddit and like reading as much as I can about the Playa and like figuring out what the deal is, who's burning, who's getting out, how Exodus is going, as they call it.
It's clockwork orange up in there.
It is.
It's literally. What is a moop?
I think it has to do with garbage.
Okay.
Or you're like, let's Google it, because I actually have that question too. So
anyway, people are trapped. There's still like tens and thousands of people that are trapped. So they're saying either tomorrow or as late as Thursday, people won't be able to get out.
Well, because if the Playa doesn't dry, then they can't.
The Playa doesn't dry.
That was a Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, that was so.
If it doesn't dry, then no one in like a regular ass vehicle can drive out. So right now, MOOP is an acronym for matter out of place, so trash. So the whole concept is like leave no trace, which is also like a big camping concept that you pack up all your garbage, you pack in and pack out, and you like leave no garbage behind.
Also known as throw away your shit.
Yeah, but people love to litter. It's just a crazy thing.
No, I know, but like I love like leave no trace. It's like, okay.
Yeah, MOOP. So it's been advised that the only people who should try to leave are people in 4-wheel drive vehicles. And in order to do that, like, I was reading a lot of people's Exodus stories on Reddit. I also like just love the terms that all the burners have. They're like, Exodus will be on Monday. Like, it's like a thing.
Yeah.
So they were like, this is the way I got out, is they would drive, someone walks ahead of the car to make sure that the land is like kind of stable. A scout. You scout out like 10 to 20 feet. Make sure it's not like muddy, then you drive, then you scout out more, then you drive, then you scout out more. But the big thing was there's a huge river, like lake like puddle that you had to drive through in order to get to the road to then move on with your life. So what they were saying is like, you have to get up to about 30 miles per hour and just gun it through as fast as you can through this lake so you don't get stuck.
Hydroplane.
If you slow down at all or pause for 1 second, you will go sludge mode. So like people were giving these Exodus tips and some people are getting out. Some people are stuck.
Oh my God, that sucks. Not to like, I know it's not everyone's able to, but like, if you're gonna go to if you have the money to go to Burning Man, like you should at least rent a 4-wheel car if you don't have one. Like no one should be going out into the middle of a barren lake bed in nothing but a 4-wheel car.
Here's a picture. Yeah, I mean,
what are you gonna go on a station wagon?
Well, I think a lot of RVs don't have 4-wheel drive. They're like more of like a 2-wheel drive, or like U-Hauls, or what people haul their like art projects out in. I'm also like, can't you just make like a little museum like to put your projects in?
Yeah,
you were welding all year to like.
I mean, I was looking at some people. I was on one guy's. People have been out there since July.
Yeah, that people go out early to like set up their camps.
So they've been burning since 4th of July.
Couldn't be me.
Like that's 2 months of your life in La Playa.
Oh, I mean, I've met people who I was like, what do you do for a living? And they go, I'm a fire dancer, a Burning Man. Like, that's like a person's job.
Damn.
I was like, so you come from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is so people on Reddit, like a lot of people are posting like, it's not that bad here. We're actually having it's one of the best years ever. Right. In fact. Okay. Yeah. Like they're burners have to be prepared for everything. And like what you're really seeing is like the community come together.
Okay.
And like, they're just all in the rain and they still manage to burn something. This is the photo of that. I was like, this is a homeless encampment. I've seen people do this in downtown LA and in Detroit.
That looks like the video for like Thriller or something. Like, wait, how many people are even there?
It's like about 20 people gathered around a flaming garbage can.
I saw.
That's called homelessness.
That's like Chicago.
Yeah.
That's
like in a bad movie from the 90s, or like a movie from the 90s when the main character has to go through the bad part of
it's
town.
like Adventures in Babysitting when they like go through.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to just say, like, I saw the videos when I saw people being like, this is actually the best burn I've ever had.
A lot of people are saying that.
But then I saw the compilation of clips. There are people rave dancing to house music, shuffling in like 3-inch deep water barefoot in a dirty shed that's half flooded, and I'm like, that's trench foot.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
electrocuted.
You're gonna get dengue fever. Malaria. Dengue fever.
You're gonna get dang fever.
You're gonna get dengue fever. You're gonna get fucking malaria.
No,
This is you're
you have
raving
to do
and
a
standing
lot
water?
of drugs to get to a place of being stuck on the playa and then finding like Starlink at a playa cafe, going to Reddit and being like, actually, this is one of the best times of my life. You're on an incredible amount of drugs and alcohol. You actually haven't even stopped drinking.
Is there an internet cafe at Black Rock City?
There are like local bars that have Starlink access, so you can go get on the Wi-Fi. I've been to cities like this that operate like
Slab City
outside of the law, like the Slab, and I was like, I could never engage in this kind of vibe.
Wait, I'm crying at the idea of I've heard about these bars in the playa, and I'm imagining it like in Star Wars, like the guy going.
That is what they're like. I can't imagine a bar on the playa or the Slab that I would walk into and be like, God, I can't wait to sit down and just connect to Wi-Fi and have like a watermelon marg. You literally get...
Are they like post office?
No, but here's something I read on Reddit that made me laugh. Thoughts from my tent. Also, you're in a tent. I'm literally like, I would kill everyone that I was with. I would flip the fuck out. I would walk and leave everything. But anyways, thoughts from my tent. I am sitting in my tent reflecting on this experience and mentally preparing for what's next. I want to maintain a positive attitude for my group, but this is super intense. The anticipation of teardown in the mud and exodus is no joke. It is not like I can prep anything to make the loadout any easier. I've just got to ride out the rain and conserve my energy. It's just hard to relax knowing what the next couple of days looks like. This was yesterday. Although this is not at all the ending I expected, I'm grateful to have witnessed so many people appreciating our installation. I regret waiting to the end to explore, but I made it to the temple this morning and was blown away. Hopefully we can close this out on a better note. Countdown to tear down continues. Then someone responded... He goes, hey, buddy, I'm stuck in my tent, too, with a broken leg. I broke it on Monday. It's okay, though. We will get through this, too, and we will do it with love and kindness for each other.
He broke it today?
Monday.
Today's Monday. Last Monday?
Maybe? I don't know.
They've been there for a week. Imagine getting to when it was still like
getting to Burning Man when it's not even really up and running, breaking your leg, which I read he like jumped off of like a 3-foot rock, like joking around, and then fucking broke his leg.
Cool.
Stayed on the Playa. Was like, I'm committed to Playa life. Then the burn never happened, and it just turned into Raining Man, and then now you're stuck in your tent with a broken leg on the Playa.
In mud.
And you're posting on Reddit. Interesting choices.
I heard people are charging people to use their Starlink. Oh, Simon just sent that to me.
Yeah.
Is that shit or mud?
This is mud. This is you climb up a mud hill and then you, I guess,
squat.
Piss in the open.
Oh, I would just shit outside.
Yeah, wouldn't you just dig a little hole? And
yeah.
Then,
I'd go like far away from the playa.
I wouldn't use a Porto.
No. Yeah, so I guess I don't know if any famous people that are still there.
I think they're staying really silent.
Yeah,
if
I
they
think
are.
there probably are.
Here's more picture of the fucking Chicago 90s bum fire. I love the idea of paying to live like this. It's interesting when you live in a city where people do live like this.
It's
like right around the corner.
Kind of insulting.
It's extremely tone deaf. But you're like, this is fun. I'm going to like suffer in cold and wet and like just like live in a tent and live this dusty life.
But every post coming out of it now is like, you don't know how good it is here.
Oh, the whole vibe is like, this is someone with like a Reddit headline that was like 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, like every year that they've gone. So they have like street cred and really know about burns. They're like, this is an incredible year where we've all learned so much. It's been amazing. And it's like, really?
Everyone's hearts are cracking open.
You're eating like Cheez-Its in a trailer. You're like watching movies on an iPad and eating like Cheerios. and you're doing like ketamine at night intermittently and going out across the way to go watch like people LARP a bum fire. And then at the tent next over is like you can go barefoot in a mud rave.
Oh my God, I'm literally retching at the athlete's foot. That's like, talk about Doughgate. Everyone's be getting pseudonomas.
Trench foot.
Lady Trenchfoot gives no fucks.
I'm just like,
the sort of propaganda coming out from the Playa is incredible.
They're really getting together and they're saying like, we're not going to let the trolls win and we're going to maintain that this was the best burn of all time. And I kind of respect that.
I love all the wellness check-ins. I'm doing fine. I'm sharing, sheltering, learning.
This is amazing. On Saturday night, we decided the weather was not going to stop us from having a fantastic burn night. During the day, we told our neighbors that we were going to build a man and asked around for some extra wood and a power saw. People were enthusiastic, but had little hope it was going to... This is about their bum fire. This is a story about...
Look at the ghoulish Halloween sky.
They're excited. This is their big win. This is the biggest win.
Yeah.
And so they tell the story. They said then the fire dancers showed up and the iron art giant car drove 2 camps over to set up and people are really loving... Someone goes, doing it right. Someone goes, was so glad to watch this. Someone goes, oh, fuck yeah. Someone goes, I like this a lot. Somehow won't make the news, but you know it's mostly the type of thing going on there right now.
I love the media is lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, like we're all... Like Dr. Deb was like, sure, there are some rich people, but most of the people here are just normal people trying to survive and
most
thrive.
of the people here are just upper middle class.
Yeah, most of the people here make over $500,000 a year and get to afford
after taxes,
taking off from childcare, their jobs, school, to just go LARP as an unhoused person on the Playa for a week and 2 weeks.
It's also expensive.
Yeah, she kept saying, Dr. Deb was like, and God love Dr. Deb.
I hope she continues to burn every year. I want her to keep going.
Me too.
I want everyone at Burning Man who goes, I don't want it to be over.
No, I want them
to keep doing
They will.
this.
They will.
So we can laugh at them.
Where there's a will, there's a burn.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, she goes,
I could burn tonight.
Yeah.
I could go out and build a fire and have burning.
Oh, yeah.
You can really, what I've learned is you can burn anywhere.
Yeah, I used to burn, at 6 a.m. in a after party, and
I'm ready to, maybe I'll
Bedside.
start a little fire somewhere and have a burn.
Sure.
Okay.
Then you start like a huge citywide fire. But she goes, you're calling us all privileged, rich people? She goes, if you don't have the money, people complaining, I don't have the money to get out of there. She goes, there's low income housing here that you can live in. And there's she's basically saying like, go live in like a barracks. She's
low
basically
income housing, like where? In Reno?
She's saying
or
no,
in the city,
Black Rock City. She goes, there's like places for people who don't have a lot of money to go and like still be part of the experience.
If you are low income and you're applying for low income housing in Black Rock City at Burning Man on the Playa, you need to be put on a long list of people who do not deserve government resources. You should not. You're not low income. If you're say I have no money, and I have no place to live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend what little money I have to go to Burning Man. And thank God they have some low income housing.
Do drugs.
For me, a poor person.
Well, yeah, I'm also just like the amount of money it takes to fly to Reno, drive there, gas money. You know, you're probably staying at a hotel like one night before the burn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, probably got to stay at another one to come down from the like. This is a full 2-week thing. People go to the like Petit Hermitage in West Hollywood and they like come down there for a week.
Yeah.
Like you're taking basically a month. You're winding down till Christmas.
You're
just like the Hollywood execs that are already started winding down for the holidays in September.
Yeah.
You're winding down your year. You're taking the month of September is gone.
I can't imagine prioritizing going to Burning Man financially when like you could just go to Europe or go to any other country or just go to a nice hotel.
You don't know, man.
Or just save your money or just spend
it
it on like a watch or something like that. Like the fact that like you would willingly choose to spend money that way is just like not something I can relate to at this juncture in my life.
You don't get it. You never did.
You're not a burner at heart.
To close
You're
out,
a festy.
You know who did get out? Davina.
Thank God.
Love her. She's a burner. She's a hardcore burner.
What do people get out of? It's just a place to like let your tits out a little bit.
I think it's really, to me, it reads very straight, and it's like for hetero people to go be like
gay,
ethically non-monogamous, aka go suck dick.
It's a place where, yeah,
it's a place for straight people who like bundle up all year, get to go and like take their tit or dick out and just like be ethically
kooky.
Slutty.
It's I'm so crazy.
I'm
vibes.
kooky.
For
a week.
She's so crazy.
And then go back to
on
their
the Playa,
lives.
and then you go back to your life
and like resent your kids. That's what I think feels to me. People are gonna be like, you're wrong, man.
I feel like people darkly bring some of their kids to Burning Man.
They do. Dr. Deb has brought her kids since they were like toddlers.
Yeah, this is what I have also noticed, because I think there's a huge crossover of deadheads and burners.
Yeah.
I think there's like big Venn diagram between the two. But I'm always seeing these like wook types at dead shows that I'm like, how do you live? How are you affording any of this? Like you're camping at like every show, you're selling your crystals on the lot. Like I think there are people that are what you and I would classify as like homeless drifters who are just kind of banding together and finding a different type of burn wherever they go.
Yeah, I think there's people who just they make ends meet as much as within whatever way they can, just to like buy tickets to go see.
I don't even think they buy tickets. I think they'd have a whole scam where they like kind of sneak in, or like they do pass backs, because then a lot of them end up on the floor. So many of them have like babies with them. I saw like someone walking around with a kid on her shoulders, and the kid was holding her nitrous balloon for her. Like I think that let me tell you, if the last night of Dead & Co.'s final tour was any indication of like what the darkness of Burning Man could be, people were dropping like flies. I saw so many people just fully drop to
Someone died at Burning Man.
Someone's always dying.
Yeah, that's true. Someone's always,
there's
like,
always running in. Yeah, like there's not to be callous, but like every year someone dies at Burning Man.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to be like.
Some people are probably like, this is how I want to go out.
I think many of the people that run into the burn that is their life goal, to go out like that.
What if I got really into Burning Man as a sober person? I love hearing when people
really
are like, there's sober community there, man. I'm like, yeah, okay.
You could start an AA camp at Burning Man. I could see a different lifestyle. You get like fucking health and wellness. You're like smoothies, protein, like biohacker. You get fucking ripped.
And then I get weird plastic surgery.
You get a little bit of weird, like your cheekbones get higher and your lips get a little bit bigger. And then you start dressing like Tarzan. And then you start like you're like cool sober guy. You start wearing like leather wrist cuffs and like silver rings, and you start your sober burner community.
Damn.
Could be you. You could link with Davina on the Playa.
You know who probably has gone to Burning Man? Aidan.
Aidan
totally
has definitely burned.
Guys, we're back. I'm Carrie.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique
Podcast.
Burning Man.
They burned.
They burned and they did that.
They did that.
So we're catching up. The season has ended, but because we were on hiatus, we're doing the last 3 episodes. So
you're gonna get them this week, all this week.
So we come up on
You're
Aidan.
welcome.
You're welcome. Aidan walking into Che Diaz's fuck pad, and there's that fake CGI cityscape.
It will never not be jarring to see Carrie in Mix Diaz's IKEA bed.
Carrie in Hudson Yards.
More
Aidan,
like Carrie in Long Island City.
Aidan walks in and he's like, still smell like flight 265 from Norfolk, Virginia to Manhattan.
I really thought that we were going to get like a Carrie in Virginia episode.
We were robbed.
And I was excited for that because I was like, surely if the other kids on this show are any indication, Aidan's brats are going to really put her through the ringer. But then they skipped all over that and just do like a brief... They do what they love to do on this show, which is skip over huge plot points and then just recap them via dialogue.
Swaths of time. Aidan's like, hey, I made good with the doorman. He finally gave me a salute. And Carrie goes, no, you can't reveal that we're here. I'm like, why are you... What, you going to go... Carrie's like, I'm going to have to be like Burning Man outside. Like, you're going to be
turned
without
in the
a home.
Street. She's going to be homeless.
Okay. So she's like, we can't, no one can know that we're here.
We can't unhouse. Not at this time.
Yeah. She's like, we are not supposed to be here. We're here illegally, Airbnb-ing. And Aidan's like, I can't not say hi. I'm a nice guy. That's all I want to do is say hi to people, Carrie.
Aidan's spray tan is really freaking me out.
Aidan's whole vibe. After this, I'm like, I don't want anything.
He's
You'll
wearing
see.
that
I'm
coat
not going to reveal
again.
what comes. You will see. I don't want anything to do with Aidan ever again after this season. Ever again.
I got into the next episode, but there was a point, we don't need to discuss it, but I was like laughing at him. I was like, whatever he's doing is backfiring.
Yeah.
And this is not for me, but that's not for this discussion.
So Aidan's like, hey, Carrie. He's like, you know. He's like, you were a big hit with my boys when you came to Virginia last week that we're not going to show now, but we had a good trip there and you were there for like a week.
You were there in Virginia for a week and my sons liked you, except for one son, Wyatt, who's a problem son, but you know that. And that's why you have a weird relationship. He's calling me now because he has problems with me flying in the air. Say hi.
And then Wyatt's like, I was tracking your flight. And I was just like, okay, why is everyone's kid an incel?
Everyone's son is neurodivergent. They really need to look into Monsanto class action lawsuit from these parents of neurodivergent children. What is in...
No, but all the boys...
What GMOs are responsible for this?
Between Wyatt and Brady, everyone is like, they are a future mass shooter.
I don't understand.
What's going on?
The kids on this show, like...
Hateful. Is this is he trying to make a point about privileged kids being like
annoying
and like kids who are so deeply like aware like they aren't? Is he trying to make a point about like how fucked?
Does anyone in the writer's room have kids?
I don't think so. Maybe
not, because the casting of Lily, it's like a 32-year-old. They're like, surely this is what a teenager looks like, a sophomore in high school.
So then Wyatt's like, he's like, hey, say hi to Carrie. And Carrie's like, hey, Wyatt. And Wyatt's like, fuck you, bitch. And then he's like, Dad, I was tracking your plane. Glad you're there. Fuck you. Hate you. And then they hang up. And then he's like, isn't my son sweet? My little sweetie, 14-year-old. God, I love him.
God, I love this little boy.
And then he strips down to his underwear.
Everyone loves you. Wyatt.
Solidaire.
And fucking Tate.
Yeah, it's like
remember his son Tate. I was like, you better say that his fucking
Sonder.
name. Sonder Tate. That's like Home Alone when he goes Meeps, Dirty Bob, Cliff. Like when
yeah, my son Sirloin loves you. My son Mignon.
Mignon.
And then he gets down to his teddy whities and you see his big old dick, and then you hear
his weird spray tan.
Rat tat 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 on the door, and they send in a little note saying you guys have to get out.
Carrie's serving body this entire episode.
She is.
She's doing some physical comedy and letting everyone know her story of her body. And I'm appreciative of that. 'Cause she does have the best hits in the game.
Seema.
Wait, though, I have a question for you. Would you rather be stuck on the playa or stuck in Che Diaz's Long Island City apartment, locked in, and you have no Wi-Fi because the walls are cinder block?
I'd be on the playa. Because at least there's people.
Imagine being trapped, like somehow you've locked yourself in from the outside and everyone's gone for Labor Day weekend and you have no food and you're stuck in old Diaz's apartment.
I would be on the playa.
Yeah, I'd rather have trench foot on the playa as well.
Because at least it's kind of like iconic.
Yeah.
Seema and the Marvel director are seeing a place with Ryan from $1 Million Listing.
Oh, was that like
it was a little cameo.
I was like, God, this guy can't act.
No, he was really bad.
Now
He
we
should
know
never
why.
act again. My sister saw him once on the street in New York. She went, "Hey, I know you from that show." And he went, "Yeah." And she goes, "You're an asshole on that show."
Oh.
And he was like, "Don't believe everything you see." I was like kind of proud of my sister.
Yeah, I love that. This guy is Taika Waititi, but also isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it was.
Seema's like, "Look at this amazing $40 million house that you can now afford because you're directing Marvel movies." And he's like on the phone being like, "Get me that deal. If it's either the Sphinx or nothing."
I was also like, this apartment looks like bad LA architecture.
Yeah, it was really
ugly.
Uncharacteristic of Seema. And she's like, "Hey, bitch, listen to me while I'm showing you a tour. I'm giving you my time. This is a great deal. And you're like worrying about Egypt." And he's like, we might have the only chance in the world. Oh, that comes later. Actually, I'm confused. But he's like, "Oh, it's just big deals for this movie." And she's like, "Well, what are you going to do? You're going to take the house? You're going to fuck me?"
She goes, "I've showed you 5 apartments. You haven't liked any of them." And he goes, "Well, if I had liked one of them, I wouldn't get to spend hot quality time with you, my love." And then she goes, "I thought you only directed action movies." And he goes, "You want action?" And then he fucking rapes her. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is unprofessional.
Yeah. They fuck upstairs and then she comes down and he's like, "Just tell her I took the apartment."
This judgy ass broker.
He's like, "Well, everything we have to do to
Guess you have to do what you got to do to get the job."
Miranda and Brady are walking in Brooklyn and she's basically like, "Your job is beneath you and me. You flipping burgers at Scout. And you need to go apply for a program in Costa Rica."
I was like, honey, you're sleeping in like someone's music room.
Yeah, while she fucks her hot trick.
Like, why are you telling Rapey?
Why are you
Brady's Ronald McDonald ass? She goes, "Dude, so you got any plans tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pack up my gun and go fucking post up on top of a gas station and snipe some passersby."
He's Son of Sam. She's like, she wants him to go to Costa Rica. She's getting, every day she gets more worried that he's gonna murder her and Steve.
I'm like, I don't think the thing to do for like a wayward school shooter son is to send them to Costa Rica. She goes, "You can work on your Spanish."
He's like, "I like my job. I like working at a bar." Which I'm like, you know what?
Let
That works
him.
for him.
It's cheaper.
He seems happier.
Let him he needs to lease an apartment and figure his own damn life out.
Yeah.
Then he goes, "You didn't figure out your life until you were what? 57 years old. So give me another 30 years. And she goes,
38 years.
38 years. And she goes, "You're right. Sorry." And I was like,
You don't let him speak to you like that?
why does everyone let their kids dom them?
I would have slapped him right there in the street.
Yeah. I
been
would have been
like,
like, "You're
"Shut up.
disowned.
You're disowned.
Never talk to me again."
Go like find a place of your own. See if you like it.
Yeah.
Go leave the brownstone you live in that's owned. and go find a place and, go find your own lease.
I'd say I'm calling the police. I'm reporting you to the FBI tonight. I'd actually report him to the FBI, have them swarm his room, take his computer, find all his like guns stored under his bed, and then he can suffer the consequences of his actions.
Speaking of cunt children, Charlotte walks in on her kids and Harry's mad at her because he's like, I'm doing everything around here.
I hate Harry.
I'm so done. I went from loving Harry to being like, can't stand you.
He was so fun and charming in the original series. Like, he was like a lovable guy, and I don't know who this skinny man is, but he's not Harry Goldenblatt.
Everyone continues to be resentful. Lily's so mean, continues to be so mean to Charlotte. Rock is like ambivalent.
Rock's cool.
No, they're not.
I like Rock.
I think Rock is a little asshole.
I'm radicalized by Rock.
I would hang with Rock over Lily, but I don't like either of them. And Charlotte's like, hey, Lily, why don't you go hang with Brady in Brooklyn?
And like, convince him to go to college.
Why are you putting this on her?
Is she younger than Brady?
Yeah, she's 2 years younger. She's like, I haven't seen Brady
since...
since...
She's sex trafficking her daughter to Bradle.
She's like, I haven't seen Brady since we went on that ski trip and he didn't leave his sleeping bag. And I was like, what? Was he jerking off?
Yeah, why was he in a sleeping bag?
And she goes,
like, were you
14's
camping?
Tough.
I was like,
what's going on?
Brady's a freak.
And Harry's,
do not let your daughter hang out with him alone.
Harry's like, I hate that you work and do something with your life. Like, you need to come home and make my life easier.
You're my servant.
Charlotte's like, oh.
Meanwhile, LTW is asleep in her closet.
LTW is like doing heroin.
LTW is powering down.
She's on opioids and like nodding the fuck out.
She's Westworld robot vibes, and she has not become eligible for the system upgrade, so she's starting to like just power down every once in a while.
Her husband comes in and he's like,
bitch, get the fuck up. Why the fuck are you asleep? Are you asleep in here? And she's like, what? And he's like, you heard me. Make me dinner. Our daughter just ate cereal. Fuck you. And then she's like, I'm Tai. PBS is making my show
for $20 million. They're giving me PBS is giving me $30 million to write this one treatment. And you look at it and it's like 3 paragraphs. And I just fell asleep at the computer. I go, you are an NPC.
We've never seen them exist in their apartment outside of that closet and their bedroom.
Why is she wearing a coat inside?
I don't know.
She's always wearing a coat.
When she went to get on her like sleepy time clothes, she like puts on a gorgeous satin robe. She puts on a new outfit to go to sleep. I liked that though.
Naya, is it finally someone's fucking? Naya's riding this hot ass young guy who looks like Yanni and is riding his dick really hard. And Miranda's in the other room, like listening. I'm like, yeah, you're lecturing your child about getting his shit together when you're staying.
You're willingly staying in here.
Why don't you just get your own place, you freak?
Also, it's kind of crazy that Naya is like just loudly like being like, wah! Like next door, like your friend is next door. Also, like Naya,
this is what Miranda gets for me tooing Carrie.
Yeah, this is karma.
Yeah.
Also, Naya, I'm like, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but she's like, I can appreciate that she is complex in the way that it's like, she's someone that would characteristically like have her shit extremely together for like the position that she's in and the work that she does. But she's also like the messiest bitch on the show.
She also, after they stop fucking,
she doesn't know how the world works in many ways. But then you're like, wait, you're like a Columbia like tenured law professor.
They like come and then they're like, oh, that was good. And she goes, wow, you came faster than my pad thai. And I was just like,
who knew you could order sex just like you can order pad thai on Postmates?
I was like, oh.
I know. Then she's like, and now we get to be on our phones next to each other and not have to pretend like we're not? Wow, things get better and better. I was like, someone slap some sense into this woman because like she just is not understanding.
But also, I'm like, the last thing I want to hear after fucking is about pad thai. Sorry. I don't want that would make me feel like weird.
Would you rather listen to Naya Wallace get pounded out
Or be on the
for
playa.
hours or be stuck on the playa?
I'd rather listen to Naya.
I might go Playa
okay.
in both the case of Che's apartment and Naya's night.
Speaking of Che, a V for Vendetta queer walks into the vet clinic with a box of kitties and they go, "Hey, where do I bring this box of kittens that I found?" And the vet head clinic person is like, "You got to bring them up to 49th
Take him to
Street.
the kitten store because we don't do that here." And I was like, "Not this," I said to myself. I'm not this storyline.
I said I relate to Che, giving up on their dreams. That's what I said in this current climate.
When you see yourself reflected in Che Diaz, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You need lobotomy.
Florence Pugh kind of looks at Che and is like, "Hey, has anyone ever told you that you look like that stand-up comedian Che Diaz?"
Che Diaz is like the most famous stand-up comedian. Che Diaz is like Louis C.K. level fame. Why they are deciding
Richard Pryor.
Why they're deciding to work at a vet clinic, that's on them, sweetie. Like I said in previous episodes, Che could have started a podcast on Patreon and have been banking $50K a month easily at this level of fame that Che is supposedly at.
Or like stay in LA and start dating like a famous person, like a queer girl, and like become like famous.
Che's a sex fest. Che's only motivated by pussy.
Che goes, "Well, what if I told you that Che was working at a vet clinic in Hell's Kitchen?" And then Florence Pugh is like, oh my God. Hey, I really like your material. Doing any more?" And then Che's like,
Have any gigs coming up soon?
"Yeah, I've got a few gigs." And then she's like, "Cool, I'll catch you at the next one." And then Flo Pugh leaves.
Che goes, "You know what? Leave these cats here. I'll deal with them." And then she takes a cat, which I thought if someone did this to me, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Bringing this animal into my house?"
Che brings a kitty into Carrie's home, and then so now Carrie's going to be a cat person, this is so not Carrie. It's totally SJP because SJP is a big cat person.
Okay. I'm not mad at the cat person storyline, really. Like, I think it's kind of cute and it's fine. But I'm just like very like, how are Che and Carrie like best friends?
I don't know. And then Che's like, "This is good for you, Carrie. It'll bring out your maternal side." And then you see Che's laptop and it has like an inclusive pride flag on the back of it, like a little sticker. I'm like, okay. So Aidan
when you
Carrie,
see that on a comedian's laptop, you know they're about to be the funniest person you've ever seen.
You know, they're about to be the most famous comedian.
Carrie goes, "What's this? You're doing stand-up again?" And just the delivery of it, I was like, keep going with that. Tell Che they need to go back to the vet office and like work their way up in the animal healthcare system.
Seema and the director go to
Ravi
go to meet Aidan and Carrie for a double date. And then Aidan goes, "Say, you're not the guy who directed Paul Kappa." And he's like, "Yes, I am."
Nepal something. Nepal Kapow.
Nepal Kapow. So it's
it's a fake movie.
Yeah, it was like in this universe, it was a big Bollywood action movie that Aidan's kids are obsessed with. So then they like bro down, and Seema and Carrie are just like,
I think Aidan kind of has dementia a bit.
He's still Alice.
Like he's still Alicing. Like there's sometimes where I'm like, this man is unwell.
There was a TikTok I posted during our break when it said it was like a whole theory of why Carrie has dementia.
But I think that Aidan actually does. He gets like too excited about things and then he's like too emotional. Like he's like an unwell man who like can't control his emotions in his old age.
He's really weird.
He's really weird.
My mom goes, I was talking to her earlier about Aidan. She goes, "Stop crying."
Yeah, he does need to stop crying and stop getting like so excited. He's too excitable. It's a sign of dementia. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if that is, but I'm just saying
You're just saying it.
It seems like it would be.
Mario and Giuseppe going.
Sylvester. That's what I call him.
Sylvester. Who?
Giuseppe.
Sylvester and Mario go on another date, and they're Sebastian's walking Mario to the apartment door that he shared with Stanford, and he goes, 5 dinners with no dick is not very gay, which I was like, that's a good line. That was
good, yeah.
This felt like somewhat true.
I'm really unclear on Sebastian's Italian heritage. Like, is he an Italian actor? Or is he just doing... Is that accent Italian?
No, I think he's American.
Being in Italy, and I mean, I did actually hear a lot of Italians speak English, but like they didn't sound like Giuseppe.
His mother's from Buffalo, as we learn.
Then why is he talking like that?
Because he was raised in Italy. He's basically like, what's the boundary?
Why are you a prude?
Why are you not letting us fuck? And Mario's like, I can't let you up there. I shared it with my ex. There's pictures of him. I'm just like freaked out. And then Giuseppe's like, you're weird, but I still want to fuck you, so I'm going to continue this.
He is weird though, because remember at their wedding, it was Mario who was the one that was like, I want to fuck people all the time, so we have to have an open marriage.
Forgot about that too.
And Stanford was like, okay. And he told Carrie that when she was wearing her little like
Liza Minnelli
witch in the woods crown.
She went.
I love Seema's TikTok dance that she does.
Yeah, that was cute. She's basically like, I see Ravi talking to girlies on Insta all the time.
Yeah.
So how do I know he's not going to be like fucking around on me?
Very Samantha and Richard coded.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Carrie's new apartment?
Insane.
So chic.
I know. It looks like French Quarter.
It looks weird from the outside. It was very Nolans, but then on the inside,
it's amazing.
Gorgeous. She needs it.
She does. She needs to get out of that place.
Yeah, I also loved her outfit. When she walked into her new apartment, I was like, she's back. Ladies and gentlemen, I like that paint splattered coat and her big old flowers and her chain. I was like, she's doing something now.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, I need her to wear like something like messy
slutty
looking. No, I'm just like, I'm watching old Sex and the City again. Carrie just wore like skanky outfits.
I know.
That were like fucking chic though.
I don't think she can. I think that someone pointed out, I think they said this on the Patreon, that she's the kind of person that like wouldn't be skank in older age.
Not skank. I'm just talking about like cool girl.
But I think women of a certain age.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you go cool girl, then you go like, you start to look like Betsy Johnson or Dr. Deb.
Samantha's still cool girl.
But Carrie was wearing, I thought what she was wearing in Chadia's apartment was very, that was very Carrie Bradshaw, like see-through with underwear underneath, giving body. No?
Yeah.
You accept it?
Yeah, I wanted her to just wear like more like...
She's in a little bit gay jail for you, right?
I just don't like all the fascinators.
I don't love like a little soldier coat and a poofy skirt.
No, I
that
just don't think Carrie
really
wore skirts is what
wild.
I'm saying. She wore like jeans.
Jeans and heel?
Yeah, like
she needs like jeans and a going out top.
Like Carol Radswell.
She would be like Carol.
That's what I'm saying. Even though Carol's not my favorite person, but like...
She's not cool anymore.
She's not cool.
But I think that's because she's too rich to be cool.
Carol's rich as fuck.
Oh, true.
She's like $50 million.
Okay. Yeah. Someone...
I need an intervention on Carrie.
I stand with Sam Joe. I stand with Kim. Patricia Field only.
Or bust.
And sorry to this other woman, but you're not. You're in gay jail as well.
I just watched the episode that gets memed a lot where they're talking about how Carrie was so messy knocking on windows of restaurants. But like she just was so cool.
Yeah. And she still got it like that too. Like the thing is you could dress her
off
in anything and it would look really good.
But who am I? I'm not like a fashionista.
But I mean,
but I know what she would wear.
That paint splatter though, I liked it. But sometimes I like a little, sometimes, you know, this is the Playa in me, is sometimes I like to dress a little bit street urchin.
Well, speaking of street urchin, I just wrote Miranda loves to crash with friends. Because she goes,
imposes her damn self.
She's like, I'm going to come stay here too.
I was like, finally, you're in a good outfit. Why don't you go call Seema up and have her rent you an apartment, you old drunk?
I want Miranda to start wearing more like Katharine Hepburn.
She needs a Kathy Hepburn suit.
Like a little
A cummerbund.
stopwatch.
Yeah, she needs a 3-piece suit on at all times.
Little watch.
She looked amazing.
Yeah.
Miranda needs to just lean into like a full-blown menswear moment.
So she wakes up.
Miranda should be trans in season 3.
Might happen.
That would be really cool.
It would. Miranda's like, can't handle Naya, just continuing to just get like dick the fuck down. So she's like, I gotta go shower at my brownstone, which she could just be living in the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks in and Lily's walking out wearing a shirt from Brady's room. So Lily and Brady fucked.
That seems also there's so many like convenient, lazy relationships in this show that it's like you can't do anything but make all these people be friends and only hang out with each other, and all their kids only fuck each other, and the world is actually 8 people large.
Miranda calls Charlotte from the Human Rights Watch like relaxation booth that they have there, and she's like, our kids are fucking, and Charlotte's like, I don't think Lily likes incels. She
goes, Brady is not even her type, when they go to the SpawnCon Chipotle lunch.
Wait, weird. I wrote like fanfic once, and when I wrote an article in The Cut about Sex in the City, and I said that I imagine just like that they would be eating at a Chipotle one time, speculating on Sam.
You spirited this. I don't like that. I never asked for any Chipotle. And
this felt real to me.
I'm someone that really loves Chipotle.
This felt real to me.
I'm sure it did. You imagined it in your heart of hearts years ago.
Chipotle was like near Union Square was like a spot.
It was a spot where ladies would go. Mm-hmm. Ladies of a certain age would go to talk about their kids fucking.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed very much like a Chipotle ad. Like Chipotle paid HBO Max. Yeah. HBO Max was like, look, we need $5 million to pay Kim Cattrall to shoot a scene. We're now taking bids from brands and we'll shoot an entire scene in here if you provide the funds. And Chipotle said, I volunteer as tribute.
We volunteer our pinto
and that's
beans.
how we got a full-blown Chipotle SpawnCon scene.
Yeah, and everyone that night went home with pinto beans.
Yeah, Chipotle catered the set that day. Mm-hmm. Everyone ate, and they were like, okay, in this scene, we want to make it really clear that we don't just have burritos or bowls. Mm-hmm. We want to make it really clear that we also have tacos.
Yeah. And they're like, we got it.
They're like, and that we employ like cool people that don't have time for these old white broads bullshit. And they got to keep the line moving.
Charlotte and Harry are hosting a benefit. This whole...
I was like, why are you doing this? Herbert's
campaign. He's a TW.
He's a comptroller? Comptroller? What is a comptroller?
Couldn't ask me.
Let's Google it.
I'm forgetting this plot though. It's like,
well, I think Harry just all of a sudden this was happening. I don't know. I was like, did he ever have anything to do, or they're just doing it because they're friends?
He's a lawyer. Sorry. Harry's like the campaign manager.
Comptroller is a high-level executive that oversees the accounting tasks and financial reporting procedures of organizations.
Okay.
So it's so incredibly vague.
That's probably a big responsibility in New York, though. It's like keeping an accounting of the city, basically.
You're being like...
To me, that reads as like that's rife for embezzling.
Oh, and also for bribery.
Yeah.
At like the highest point. Yeah. Like, you're the most powerful person and you are now trading in bribes 24/7.
I just watched the John Slattery pissing comptroller episode. And I was like,
good.
Carrie, you were messy for that.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
But he did shame her.
Wait, I would love for season 3, Herbert and LTW become like extremely corrupt. Like,
I would love it.
Herbert's taking bribes and LTW is like at first really put out by it, but then gets like sucked into like his life of crime. Yeah. And they go worse. And I could see them like she could be like mob boss
I know.
levels.
Like
Laura
Linney and
Laura
Ozark,
Linney,
who became worse than Jason Bateman, or had less morals.
I want to see LTW go fully to the dark side and fucking turn New York into like Gotham City.
Well, it's starting here at the Goldblatt residence, because this benefit is happening and Harry's like, everyone is here to see LTW. Like, where is she? She's late. Is she nodding out again?
Herbert's like, yeah, she's having a struggle with black tar right now, but she'll be.
But why is everyone like?
Why does she have to be there in order for him to say anything?
I guess LTW is like the most famous woman in New York society, which like I believe
her presence is essential.
Anthony's like, Carrie's like, why don't you want to fuck Giuseppe? And he's like, because he's chasing me for a green card. I'm convinced.
Also, Brady comes in with Miranda, and Charlotte is like awkward to him upon greeting, and she's like, Lily and Rocker in the kitchen just ran over there. And Brady goes, yeah, I know my way around. And I was like, you fucking clown. Get the fuck out of here.
Continuing to talk to, I'm sorry, I feel like a prude here, but like I'm just
You're
like,
not. Someone needs to send these kids away to wilderness. Honestly, like they deserve it. They have no decorum.
No manners. Don't talk to your parents' friends like that.
This is how children are, though, these days. They have no decorum, and every parent is like a fucking idiot to them.
That's like I think that's Miranda's like their godmother or something, or Charlotte's the godmother or something crazy.
But Carrie is Brady's godmother.
Well, whatever. But like, I would never, like, if I talk to my Aunt Polly, my godmother, who's one of my mom's like best friend from college, like
I don't even talk to my mom's friends like that now.
No, I still talk to them like I'm 10 years old.
Can you imagine going over to like my mom's friends, like Ladies, Little Margarita and Burger Hang?
I know my way around.
And them being like, oh, come on. I go, I know my way around. Push past them. You would not even catch me in a blackout talking to people like that.
So Victor Garber's there, Larry Kasabian, and Harry's now convinced that he's trying to fuck Charlotte, and I think she's like, he's gay. Basically, because Victor Garber's gay in real life.
Yeah, but he likes blondes. But I think he's like a serial player. I thought he was gonna like hit on Carrie and they were gonna have a little thing, and I was like, I could see that.
Well, they have this like kind of maudlin talk about Big,
and this is where Carrie goes full Carrie O'Donnell school of acting. He goes, so how are you? What I learned from my marriages, anyways, have you been married before? And she goes, actually,
once.
No.
He's like, are you married now? And she goes, not anymore.
She goes, actually, no. It was a wonderful marriage to a wonderful man. It just ended far too soon.
Excuse me.
Well, nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Mark. I'm heading out. And then just
he goes, my name's Larry. Well,
I was like, this woman, if you ask Carrie the wrong question, she will go seashells mode.
Well,
so fast.
He goes, are you married? She goes, not anymore. And he goes, was your divorce as acrimonious as mine?
My third
divorce. And she goes, we didn't divorce actually. And he goes, well, that can only mean one thing, that and she goes, yes, it was a wonderful marriage, and I had a wonderful marriage to a wonderful man, and then it ended far too soon, and one day we were married and the next day we weren't.
Well, nice to meet you.
Well, gotta go.
I'm heading out.
And she walks into a wall.
Away. Yeah.
In Blair Witch Styles in the corner.
She left the entire event.
Yeah, she did. Gotta go.
When Carrie goes seashells, she has to excuse herself. She's heading out.
LTW comes in and he's like, why were you fucking late again? She's like, sorry, I nodded out again while editing my documentary. Well,
Shar and Miranda keep like spying on Brady and Lily, and they are like watching them, and Miranda's like freaking out. She's like obsessed with Brady's sex life in a way that I'm like...
Well, at one point Charlotte's like, I don't need to know about them fucking. Like, I was having sex as a kid. Like, I don't want...
You're a perv, Miranda. And Charlotte goes, I had a lot of sex my mother didn't know about. And I was like, wait, you were like a mega slut and your mom didn't know about it. We need to know more about this past. But like, I liked her setting Miranda straight.
And Miranda's like, you're right. I need to go like unpack that with my therapist.
Mm-hmm. So LTW swans in finally. And Herbert is like, bitch, where the fuck were you? Like, I've been here at my comptroller dinner and you're nowhere to be found. You're just sleeping again all over the place. What's going on?
He
you
goes,
passive aggressive bitch.
And she goes, no, I'm pregnant.
I was shook in this moment.
I was shook too.
This is a twist that I truly didn't see coming.
Brigitte Nielsen over here.
How old is she supposed to be? Like 55?
I thought
49?
anywhere from 45 to 60.
I love it. She's 78 years old.
I wrote, what can't she do?
No, I was like, God, this woman is unstoppable. She's
on
so fertile.
Fire. Well, then I remembered Samantha has that episode where she gets her period and she's still like her late 40s. So,
yeah.
You know, you never know. Then Carrie shows the apartment to Miranda and Charlotte. Or no, was that earlier?
So
she's like, she gets a phone call and it's Aidan's wife.
Oh yeah, Aidan's wife called her when she was showing the girls her new like $57 million apartment that she's gonna buy. And I was like in my head asking, does Rachel from Rachel Getting Married know about when Carrie and Aidan kissed in Abu Dhabi? And would it change a lot about her life if she knew about that indiscretion?
Rosemary DeWitt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Also, funny, Rosemary DeWitt is married to Ron Livingston, who played Berger.
That's crazy.
So she walks into like...
She's like, you have to have coffee with me, please. And so Carrie flounces in another poofy skirt.
I gagged when I saw Rosemary DeWitt because she's...
You love her.
She's a fucking... I think she hung the moon.
Mm-hmm. I was happy for you when I saw that she was in it. I said to myself, I go, he'll love this.
I went, because I just love her. And she's like, hey, Carrie, just here for a fabric convention because I work in fabrics.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so she knows Jill Zarin. And
she says, I'm late for a meeting with Jill and Bobby, but first I wanted to bring you here to tell you.
Bobby's still alive in this universe.
Yeah, Bobby is very much alive. She goes, don't write about my dumb sons.
She's like, hey, I know that you're like a famous writer and all, but like, keep my sons out of your filthy books.
Don't write any seashells novellas about my sons.
Don't write about their lives. Don't use pseudonyms. Don't do anything. Act like they don't exist. I just don't want them in your book. And Carrie's like, oh, that's a tall order, Dad. That's a tall order, Kathy, but I can try to keep their little shitty little mouths out of my book.
Yeah.
I'll honor that.
I'll do my very best.
And then she goes, and I got to say something else. Don't break Aidan's heart again. Because not only are you going to break his heart, my sons are involved now. And I went, damn, she's dragging Carrie's ass.
Yeah, she came for her in her own damn city.
Also, I go, is she wearing a kimono?
She was wearing a robe of some sort.
But I was like, fuck, she's
dressed, she gets up, she's dressed like in full geisha. She's dressed like full geisha cosplay, like Kyoto, when you go there and you see like walking the street.
I was like, God, she is. And then Carrie goes, do I order here or is there a place I go up? And she goes, you go up to order at the cash register.
That was me, always, in Italy, not knowing where I was, where to order.
Carrie went up like this. Carrie just got
told. She got just told about what her next like career iteration will be. Mm-hmm. And Aidan's autistic sons will not be part of the narrative. There will be no Seashells Part 2.
So Aidan goes to the French Quarters just to see the new place, and Carrie's like, well, it's for us and also 3, occasional guests whenever they want to come up from Virginia, talking about his sons.
That's very kind of you.
Very kind. And Aidan's like, his ungrateful ass is like, don't sell your place because of me, Carrie.
Because this has to be your own decision. I was like,
you're getting mixed signals.
Yeah.
She's opening up her home and money to you and your shitty little sons.
But doesn't he have a lot of money because he sold his stupid company to West Elm?
Yeah, he's probably worth more than Big ever was.
I doubt that. You watch your mouth. So now it's revealed that Carrie is living in Gramercy Park.
She's like, and we have a key to the park. And he goes, Gramercy Park has changed a lot over these years.
From your old neighborhood, it's very different. I know you like that old neighborhood of yours. And she goes, I know. And then he's like,
I just kept going like this.
I can't handle them. I was like, can you have some drama, please? He goes, she goes, your wife, Kathy, told me not to hurt you. And he goes, God damn it. I don't ever talk about that bitch's boyfriends. I gotta have a fucking talk with her ass. And Carrie goes, no, don't. No,
please
don't, please.
No, please don't.
And he goes, get the fuck off me. I gotta go back to Virginia and beat some sense in there. And she goes, please.
Don't go on she goes, don't go on the choo-choo train. Don't take the Amtrak. He's like, I'm taking the Acela Express.
He goes, look, Bradshaw,
you stay here in this shit-ass apartment. I'll think about your proposition.
I'm gonna hurt you sometimes. You're gonna hurt me sometimes. That's just how it's gotta be in the game of love. And sometimes some of us are gonna cry, and that's just how it goes. But I'm sure about this, and I'm sure about us. And now I'm gonna go kill my bitch of an ex-wife.
No.
She goes, please don't. And he goes, shh. No. You won't write a word about this.
So then Carrie goes, I gotta make this decision soon.
And she
runs. I take the apartment.
She runs to the West Village.
Terminator 2 style. She runs up to the Upper East Side, aka the West Village, and her random young...
Her fucking mess-ass, crazy-ass downstairs neighbor comes whirling out of the building.
She goes, oh my God, Carrie, she goes, I meant to talk to you. I gotta move out. The faggots that own it have been they tell me I gotta pack up my shit and go. They're coming back from Mallorca.
Carrie goes, hey, little Gwendolyn, or whatever her name is. She goes, how are you? She goes, horrible, bad, so bad.
Just the gays I sublet from are coming back and they're kicking me out of the place.
Terrible. I hate my gay landlords.
My gay landlords are kicking me out.
They're going to have to drag my corpse out of here.
She goes, who would ever leave this place? I'm never going to find another place like it.
She goes, well, my Uber's here. I got to go. And runs off. And Carrie goes,
She goes, and just like that, I decided to sell the place.
She goes, Seema,
I'll take it.
I want that apartment. And goes upstairs. I was just like, this neighbor has an Adderall addiction.
Yeah. The gays are coming back.
She's not an ally. Mm-mm. She's extremely homophobic.
She is.
Wait, I also realized that, so she's a jewelry designer by trade, but the brand is actually a brand that I've been keeping my eye on for a while. It's called Ishi, and they make really chic jewelry. I think it's like one guy, and he/they, I don't know, are making like the chicest jewelry.
Wow.
It's very like,
I want it.
Seashells, but in a good way.
I want it.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
stay tuned. This episode was a lot. It takes me literally like 2 nights to get through.
I know, it's a 2-day affair to watch one episode.
I get put to sleep immediately. These episodes, they put me down. I start out excited, and then I'm literally like lights out at 15 minutes in.
Gird your loins, because you know who's coming in from old Merry London.
Miss Jones herself.
Guys,
hello?
Stay tuned. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Let's read our cult members.
Yeah.
Hello.
Goodbye. Goodbye to all that.
Goodbye.
Danielle McMillan.
Lady
Swamp, which gives no fucks.
Lady Swamp gives no fucks.
Miles Attab.
Mary.
Maisie McKierney. Mike Earhart. Sharon Baum. Realtor. Courtney Kesselman. Carrie Whitmer. Owsley. Mariah Kay. Kathy West. Rochelle Martino. Kit Moore. Nick Sedaris. Emily. Kim Lucas. And Jeffrey Pratima. Thank you so much for being cult members of this podcast. Guys, if you want to join the cult, you can on Patreon. Sex Unique Podcast on Patreon. You get every episode completely ad-free and weekly bonus episodes and a treasure trove of over 200 bonus episodes.
What more could you want?
Every past episode also ad-free in various collections. It's such a curated place. It's a lovely place.
It's a museum.
It is a museum.
Go become a lifetime member.
Just do it.
Buongiorno.
Don't ask questions. Just bye. Ooh, goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Enough.
Enough.
It's enough.